Well, welcome back, everyone. This week just continues to get more and more interesting. It's the middle of the week, and we've got a bunch of key Fed speakers right in front of us tomorrow, starting at about 9:15 a.m. with, I think, Powell all the way into the afternoon. Where did this market end up today? Now, I've got a chart of the Russell to start off with in front of you. The Russell is a small cap index. IWM is the ETF that tracks it. And we can see that some damage has happened here. Now, the market is very likely pricing in concerns with growth. This index tends to lead and be the canary in a coal mine and give us that warning. So Powell took a 50 basis point rate cut. It was aggressive, and it effectively signals that we're likely going to need more rate cuts. Why? Because growth is going to slam into a wall potentially. Now, that might be too strong, but the idea is the consumer's tapped out. Credit's tapped out, delinquencies are rising in all areas that credit is extended. But what you're seeing today is with the Russell down, a little over 1.5%, in fact, vis-a-vis the day before, the Qs are actually rising. So take a look at the QQQ ETF. It didn't close at its highs today. However, it did squeak out about a tenth of a percent of a gain. And then when you take a look at the SPY, which has a broader set of securities and sectors in it, not as concentrated in the Mag 7 as the Qs are, it didn't fare as well as the Qs. Not a surprise. However, it did still hold key support. Now, you can see that vis-a-vis yesterday, we're down about 0.25%. Now, lots of lines here. Let's make sense of this with extraordinarily powerful and clear tools and 2 time frames to help with that. Take a quick look at the 3 individual charts that you have here. The Russell futures is what you're looking at now. And we know it took a bit of a spill today. S&P E-minis in the center, and the Qs as depicted by the NQ, the futures. You're looking at a daily candlestick chart for each one of these, and you've got the Champion Trend Pack Toolkit applied to price. Now, the toolkit's been developed by the only 33-time real money on-site domestic and international trading champion with real money. And that's a feat that we don't know anyone else has got. The tools that you see on screen have been developed over decades. So take it in 3 big points. There are competition winning tools. There are 3 stages to a powerful sequence of signals in these tools that allow for trades to be triggered, managed along the way to the exit. And the tools can be used on any asset class, any time frame. So at a market level, we know that the Russell is a canary in a coal mine. We know that the Qs are seeing flow into them. If you take that insight and then look at the primary signaling market and ask yourself, what's next here? A little bit more outflow from the areas that are less profitable. And if and when we see that RTY, the Russell, come down and break below some of the support structures here, because it has finished a sequence, if we break below support structures, it's going to give us that ultimate warning or confirmation of it being the warning signal officially. Right now, it's coming back to backtest to breakout area. It is negative, but coming down and taking out the champion trend buy zone trail line, well, that's effectively saying folks are letting it go. And that in and of itself is something that can happen over the course of a couple of days even. It may take a few. But in this environment, I wouldn't put it past happening over a day or two. And it's at that point where the market participants have to decide, is it worthwhile to continue holding onto even things that are widely distributed, widely held, like the Mag 7 stocks? As of right now, the answer is yes, but we're just seeing the early stages. So check out the 1-hour time frame on the NQ. This is the NASDAQ futures, same chart as the other, just a different time frame, to help us move into what's likely going to happen in the after hours, how we're going to set up for tomorrow, ahead of the parade of Fed speakers. Russell's in trouble. There's no question. It's in stage 3 of its Champion Trend Pack sequence of signals. And it's in a resumption from the earlier selling that you saw here. It resumed right over here. So what we're seeing now is a struggling market that has simply come up and made slightly higher highs. There are negative divergences here, left, right, and center, but they don't matter to me until the NASDAQ drives that negative divergence and starts to crack. So far, we've got a fairly algorithmic, symmetric, if you will, higher highs and higher lows. I look forward to sharing more insight on this with you, with the market likely still a little bit up in the air before it probably tears. This election is probably the most important in our lifetime so far, and it's one that we're going to be focused on intensely in terms of the investment, the trading output from it. Go to joinziad.com, get yourself situated for the biggest, best Wealth 365 Summit, curated speakers based on the feedback you've given us. An exceptional lineup. Rob's going to be there speaking all week. I'm going to be there multiple times, and I'm going to be sharing strategy with you. I look very much forward to seeing you at the summit. Go to joinziad.com, get yourself registered, and have an incredible rest of your day. Bye for now, all.